One moment in time. One moment that haunts my mind. One moment I cannot change. One moment that caused a tragic exchange. Everyone on brain injury, no matter the circumstances, they are quite able. Some of us may walk funny, talk funny, look funny, but look, at the end of the day, we are only human. We eat, we shit, we sleep. Nothing different between me or any other person.
What's the news, bro?
Well, they say no news is good news.
That's it, that's it.
That's cool, bro, coming. Now I'm probably knowing more than most able people.
There's no rush. Just like being on the coast, eh?
Aye.
Time's never an issue.
No. Just people.
People.
And I feel good. When I come in, I'm happy. I leave all my troubles outside the gate.
Let's get in there. On there, eh? Yeah. Get down and get those holes out of there.
I can be myself, and no one judges me. Good. I feel what actually a blessing in disguise. Because if I didn't have an accident, yeah, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't even be home right now. Locked up or running around with the gang or tattooing up face.
Who's this one going to?
My mum. I like my time.
Sometimes I think, boy, if he didn't have his accident, he'd probably be in jail or he'd probably be dead. He was fully immersed in gangster lifestyle, pretty mischief guy, and always gotten into fights. He got kicked out of boys' high school. One child said that Hiram always looked after them when they were at school. He would stop these other people bullying them, but it was Hiram that always got caught. But when he left school, there was really nowhere else for him to go.
We'll take team to breakfast, eh, brother?
I cook it in butter.
No, that's not a deal, brother. You can do the dishes.
No, we're tag teaming it.
Yeah, we take team in breakfast. You're solid on the dishes.
No, well, man, we lost my father at a young age. The gang like family.
We were always close. Yeah, everything we done together. Had each other's backs. He used to get into skateboarding and that, and so I'd ride my bike, get down to the skate park with him and hang out with all the other kids, and until we started drinking, and that's when it all got serious, and then both sort of hard out got into the gang and gang lifestyle.
Brother, see, I told you, they're no lion team.
The New Year's Eve, me and the cop at the time couldn't control Hiram. He'd been up all night and had been drinking and came home like an angry child. So the cop came and took him to town and processed him. So at that point, dear family of ours from Kawerau asked for Hiram to join Silviculture down there, and he accepted. And the family would ring me to tell me that he's doing great, and Hiram would ring me and say, Mum, it's awesome. And so it was really good, and there was no mischiefness. So I was really shocked to see him come home that day. He did come home.
He came back home for one night. I thought, oh man, I gotta put the money Stopped at the bottle store, bought some liquor, driving around Tolaga. That's about that. But then they told me, and it's good that I can't remember.
Do you remember what happened over here, my brother?
What happened?
Your accident, this is where it was. You died over here. How I know? I felt your pulse and there was nothing, brother. Hiram turned up with my cousin and they were drinking. We had a friend and his partner come over and my sister also was at home, and the truck that my cousin come up on, it was only a single cab ute. So who couldn't jump in the car, jumped on the back of the truck. We went down the beach and sort of drove around a bit in Tolaga and everything was all right. And I remember we just coming up to the corner, I looked at Hiram and I said, "Hold on, my brother." And he goes, "It's all right, because he's got me." Right as we were coming around the S-bend there, he leant back to go and scull his drink. The truck straightened up and threw him off balance, and instead of just flying off the truck, which he should have done, he grabbed onto the side of the truck as he was falling over backwards. It swung him underneath the truck. And I felt that the dog, like we ran him over, his head. It just happened so fast, and I was banging on the roof and telling them to stop. At that point, I jumped straight off the truck. It was still going 35, 45 Ks. When I got to him, he had just stopped rolling on the ground. Felt his pulse on his neck, and there was one big pulse, and then after that, there was nothing. He was gone, dead. If it wasn't for our quick reactions of what we had, lucky we knew first aid. Very lucky. Blood coming out of your everywhere. Eyes, ears, nose, mouth. Getting mouthfuls of blood doing CPR. But nah, it brought you back anyway. His whole face sort of mushed back out like when you squeeze a pillow and then you let it go, it goes back to its form. That's what his whole face done, and it took a bit to bring him back to life, but he started breathing and it was like heavy breathing, like a apparently he had punctured a lung.
But helicopter.
Yep.
When did it land?
I landed in the paddock behind us, my brother. Nowadays, I called for their helicopter. You know how I knew to call for a helicopter? From logging accidents. It's it, you don't call for ambulance out there, my brother, you call for a helicopter. After he was gone, you know, I sort of started grieving a bit, and I was angry and frustrated because I'd never seen my brother like that and so unresponsive and that badly hurt, and there was nothing I could do about it. It was a tragedy. All because of what? Stupid, silly, drinking, surfing on trucks.
Since my accident, what made it more easier for me was that I accepted it. That's how it helped me in rehab. I would never like to see anyone do the work I've done through rehab, and they could. Not every client will make it.
He was out, eyes closed, for a whole month in Waikato Hospital. The main thing was he was still breathing. There was really nothing I could do. His puku wasn't working. I don't know why, but I just midi-midied his feet because I heard that your internal organs are attached.
After Hiram had his accident, I used to have flashbacks, and I'd wake up in the middle of the night, just replaying in my mind, and I didn't know how to talk about it. I just went wild and started doing mischief things and stealing cars and just filling them up and taking off, and It all caught up in the end and I ended up in prison. When I was in jail, there was a program that I had done, and they call it the DTU. It's actually a drug treatment unit. And that's when I first found out about that PTSD and all that, and I was able to identify it and understand what it was, and I think that was a big part of overcoming that anger and that upsetness. My auntie and them had said that they went and visited him, and they reckoned that his cabbage, he's not there no more, he didn't even recognise them. And I got upset. No way. You know, I stayed strong in believing that he's okay. It's still him. He's going to be all right. And by then, they let me out on bail, caught a flight up to Auckland, went on the plane for the first time in my life. And when I got to the room, I could hear noises, and the noises he was making, it made me upset. And so I sort of broke down, started crying, and I couldn't even... And as soon as I spun around, I looked at him and he was different and looked different and sounded different, but I could see in his eyes that he recognised me. That was more than enough for me. I'll watch you dry and wash. And the first thing he did, and he's trying to pull me the fist and that, and I was in tears and sounded like he was trying to cry too, and had a big hug and that.
Kind of look like that fella on the end there.
No, that fella next to the fella on there, that's the one we picked up from the zoo that day.
Oh, thank you. No, I'm on there. I remember that my father walked in the game, kind of happy. Oh, I didn't want me to cut the back of him.
No, no, thank you.
When I'm in rehab, I was told I'll never walk in. Help me stop. Help me in the toilet. Wipe my backside for me. Help me shower. Help me get dressed. It was good that I went through there, because then I learned shit. I don't want to be like this for the rest of my life. And one day I went in the toilet and there was no staff outside. Got up and walked to the toilet. So I was like, yeah, I'm gonna walk in.
Bending knees, heel toe. We just knew that whatever was going to happen, there were going to be improvements. They did say he does have youth on his side, so I took that as a plus. Your movement's there.
He managed to get rid of the wheelchair permanently and had him a walkie thing. Now he can walk without it.
Heel, toe.
I told him that he can do anything he wants to do, and as long as he puts his mind to it and anything's possible. Do you want a hand putting your socks on, my brother?
The goal is for Hyrum to be independent again.
Here, make your bed then.
His care, depending on his day and how tired he is sometimes needing reminders. I call them prompting. We're still trying to get into a good routine.
You all right, brother? You want me to grab it?
So on a good day, he's up at just before 6 o'clock. He hopes to be sharp and ready for his support worker by 6:30 to do his exercises.
Cool. I don't call him by a first name. I call him Auntie. The late Auntie.
When he left Auckland and first came back to Gisborne after his acute rehab up there, I was his first physiotherapist. Hi, Ron. We were told he wouldn't walk and he wouldn't talk again. Well, now we can't shut him up and we can't keep him still.
G'day, Hiram.
Known to everyone as Ron Boy. He's always looking for new things, so we just sat down and we looked at all the different sort of sporting facilities that we have in Gisborne, and he said, oh yeah, I've done that before, I'd have a try at that. You know, it's something that he can use in his community, and that's the whole point of our rehab approach, is it needs to be integrated into Hirum's life activity.
That's it.
Is that dead ball territory?
That's what you call a bit heavy.
This will be good stretching out that tight ankle, because Ron, he's got a fused ankle. He's had to adapt to that, so you can do that.
Aim for the corner and just get it.
Awesome.
Now, that
Oh,
looks a
that
very
looks
good
good.
bowl.
Oh, my.
Am I a good teacher or what?
I went to the pool with him, and he goes to the pool regularly, but he'd never put his head under. So then we worked on just gradually getting confident with that, until one day he was standing on the side and I just pushed him in, and he had to find his way.
Don't forget, big breaths. Me and Hiram had set a challenge for his underwater swimming at the pool here. And we've used this whole champions are made while the stands are empty. And he can get from the start of the pool to this, to the word wow. So we're trying to see how far we can get up to that champions.
Very proud. Yeah, he's got that go, eh? He just wants to keep going.
I want to help people not walk the path I want to walk. I'm talking about making the right decision.
Upright, right? Awesome.
What did you just get up to in town?
I learned how to play bowls.
Bowls, that sounds mean.
And not cook.
Did you win?
No, I want to lead the game. I would love to help people, making sure that everyone making the right decision, so no one walks the path that I walked with my brain injury.
Hiram became involved in Gisborne District Council road safety campaign last year and began doing some public speaking. And I think that Hiram's story has the power to really hit the right spot in our community with our people, and particularly people of his own age group, where our statistics around alcohol and road traffic accidents are the highest in the country.
I think what I noticed from the stories is the impact it had with his mum.
Hiram's story has inspired me. I've actually been through moments where I've almost been in an accident for one moment in time to stay safe, rather than risking one moment that can take everything away.
You know, for me, to see him absolutely realise his dream is just, you know, an experience beyond words.
I know a guy that drinks and drives, always did. We wouldn't be able to go from one place to another without drinking. After sitting at one of the bros at drink driving class, he no longer drinks and drives. To me, that proves that his story's working. People are listening and it's getting results.
People, they thank you. I don't drink and drive now. I used to attend your campaign for the tear to my eye. It made me think they appreciate what I was saying. They weren't listening, they took it in.
Kia ora, Hiram. How you going?
Good.
I was the first rehab coordinator that worked with Hiram, and from the very first day, he was actually quite clear on his goals around sharing his story with others to help them avoid being in the same situation as him. So what about your goals, Hiram? How are you tracking?
Oh, didn't that man fake it till you make it?
With brain injury, it tends to have an impact forever. His communication is still difficult probably for people that don't know him, but he's actually really happy to repeat himself if necessary. He's trialled living in an independent unit and now he's back with family, but looking at moving back to independence again. And I think it's good he has those clear goals and he's pretty committed once he decides on something he wants to do. He's really good and he's actually really brave.
No, I would love to get my own house, to get my own independence back. I did it once before, but I will do it again.
My hope is that when I fly high, Hiram's all right. Yeah. Sorry. And I want to set him up on his own little place so that he's living life. Yeah, with or without me.
My mum, she knows him, man. I don't think I'll be where I am today if it were not for my mum. But then I tell my mum that, and she tells me, no harm until you put in the hard work. But then I think yes, I put in the hard work.
He'll too. He'll too.
Got people around me. That's all I need. Love is the key.
He's quite a big influence in the community and that, and now I know where he's at now, and I know where I'm at and where I need to be, and basically that he's all right now. He's okay, and I've gotten a lot of that stuff off my chest, and I'm more at peace with myself now.
One moment in time. One moment that holds my mind. One moment I cannot change. One moment that caused a tragic exchange. For good or bad, I cannot tell. For it forever holds me in its spell. From dark places of black despair, I now live in hope without crippling fear. Through the endless route of what I can't be, I now see a future of untold possibilities.